Greeting, beautiful people. We start with the attitude of being honest with ourselves, but we relax. We are not going to do intense integration today. We're going to relax. Let's be together. I don't often talk online with people. It breaks the solitude. Yesterday I had a small chat on a video call. With someone who didn't feel like smiling. So at the end, I just said, try to be happy, smile, make an effort to be positive in that. And that person replied something beautiful. That person said, I don't lie. I don't smile if I don't feel happy. Awesome. Fantastic. So it inspired my class today. After Monday's class, make a little smile. Fake it until it's real. Don't lie and smile if you're not happy. Looks like a contradiction, but it is compatible. If for a short moment you feel bad, give yourself the right to feel bad. It is wise. It's honest with yourself. But if your state continues to be sad more than a few days, then it's important to take a decision. So today we take a few minutes to clarify this, and then we move on to the next step. If your sadness is momentary, it is much wiser to feel it. And if your sadness is prolonged, then it's not just an emotion, it's an attitude. The attitude of sadness. My God, I still have red eyes. Oh my God, look at this. I'm not crying, I assure you. And it's not the t-shirt giving the color. It's the heat of the shower, probably. If your sadness persists over days, it is not just a potential to integrate. It becomes an attitude. That attitude is like a personality trait. And this is what requires a decision to change. You have to decide, I want to have a happy life, and I'll make it. We have to choose with what life gave me right now. I'll do the best I can. You see, I'm recuperating the wisdom I gave for a few classes. We're capitalizing on that. But it is true, if you feel sad in a moment, don't lie to yourself. Be honest. When I use the metaphor, fake it until it's real. Or is it an analogy or just an expression? Every metaphor or analogy has its flaws if they are misunderstood. Okay. It's important not to lie to yourself. What I mean is to imagine the possibilities of happiness. Or at least imagine the possibilities of peace during your troubles. That will make your life better. So this is what we contemplate now. When I have a moment of sadness, I'm honest and I embrace it. But whatever persists beyond the moment is an attitude. And if I want to pretend at least to be a master of myself, I have at least to practice changing my attitude, choosing my attitude. Now, difficult application of that is old age. I often speak of old age, although I have not reached it yet. But I do have a lot of memories from past life. Even if I can't prove it, and it is not an objective fact at all. But many of my clients and students are going through old ages, so I like to talk about it. I have also learned from my own mother, who is living a pile of different things, health conditions. And she chose to live it happy. So I'm using this to teach also. There will always be good news and bad news. Always. Accept it. It's life. "10 minutes. That's a good recapitulation of the class on hope. So we can go into the attitude of contemplation inside. Incarnate your body. whatever that means for you, regardless of which training you had about incarnation. Incarnate your body. Inside your body, there are biological phenomena that represent for your body good news and bad news. Your cells will face happy moments and sad moments. A cell will encounter a nutrient or a toxin, for example. The nervous system will encounter pleasant stimulations and stresses, for example. So with the attitude of hope in your mind, bring this into your body. Incarnate the feeling of hope for the body. To honestly embrace the negativity it finds. Also for the body to decide to be positive about what it encounters. As a general attitude, to be ready to face everything with hope, courage, the feeling, the sentiment, we can do this. We can do this. Bring this into the body. Have your body live hope. Let your body feel that despair is not a good way to deal with it. Desperation. The body will operate its natural mechanics with hope. With a deep breath, incarnate hope. Whatever training of hope you did with last session teaching on hope, or whatever virtue you've cultivated over the years, incarnate. Have your body consider the jungle of nature with courage, positivity. Allow the body to learn the feeling. At the cellular level, at the level of organs, simply be incarnate. The more you cultivate virtue as a person, compassion, gratitude, hope, justice, strength, prudence, and so on, the more you can take that feeling and the attitude and bring it into the body, for the body to benefit from it. When you bring virtue into the body, your soul and your mind are supporting your body's functions. The more you accept to let go of control in life, in your mind, the better the incarnation process happens. As an intellectual being, you don't control your biological functions. You can lift an arm if you decide to lift an arm, but it happens by itself. You're not controlling this the sending of the signal into the muscles, the lubrication of the joints, the articulate angle. You're not controlling any bodily function. Through the vital plane of will, you want your physical movement, and you lift your arm, and it happens. You don't control your heartbeat unless you do meditative practice to do that, but you don't decide if your heart beats or not. You're not sending the electricity into the pump. Your body does that. The more you've learned to let go of control as an ego and cultivate peace in life, hope, not to pretend to be happy, but to know you'll take it as it comes, and you can do that. Then it can sink into the body even better, because you never control what your body does. Well, I'm talking the base biological function. You can control if you fart or not, but if you prevent it, it might hurt. You can control your breathing, but if you can completely stop it, it might hurt. If you don't breathe for like 15 minutes. Unless you are trained to do that through non-breath and similar practice. Accept that what happens in your body is not something you mentally control at the cellular level or your organs. We have the impression of controlling the breath or the heartbeat by intentionally relaxing. But we still don't control the breath and the heartbeat. We just influence it. Deep breath. Incarnate the body and share your virtues with the body. And we do this with the feeling of the virtue. In this case, the feeling of hope. Allowing the body to feel that attitude. And then it will manage itself like it always did, without you controlling it. But it will have that feeling, that virtue. A deep breath, please. Incarnate hope through the feeling of positivity, courage, but also acceptance, honesty with yourself. There's an expression that says, we go through experiences. In life, we go through experiences. And then we say, I can get through this. Think about the attitude where instead you are going through the experience. It is the experience that is going through you. Instead of you going through it, it is a life event that you allow through you. You let it traverse you. You allow it to happen and to pass. It is an attitude of humility. Share that with your body. Once you feel it for yourself, share the feeling with your body. You allow the natural process to happen, but accompanied by virtue, it is much more efficient. It is an attitude of less resistance and more humility. Deep breath, incarnate the body, feel hope. Feel, I am not a victim. I am simply alive. Later I'll teach you the flaw of that metaphor or that analogy or expression. But for now, we just use that. I'm not a victim. I am just here, incarnate, living this moment. And have the body embrace it. The symptoms of depression accumulate on you like a heavy layer. Because of a lot of denial of the feelings. I'm sorry to say, if you are depressed, you will still be depressed for a while. It will take a long time to process this thick layer of potentials in your body. You can still face it with hope. I can get through this. And I can let it through me. And accept it. But I also have to make a choice to find peace again. And eventually be happy. Change the attitude of the body through a choice. Still, every wave of suffering you embrace. Next step could sound a bit supernatural, and it's okay. The Sanskrit word we use is Rasavada. If someone wants to type it, usually Raven does that. Rasavada. Rasavada. Which means transmutation or alchemy. You are incarnate in the body with humility, sharing the feeling of hope with the body. It allows your soul to flow into your mass. And you feel Rasavada. The efficiency of the body to process the toxins and the nutrient in the most efficient way. Without mental control, the body knows what it's meant to do with those things. You don't control exactly what transmutes into what. The body knows what it wants to do with this, always in the best possible way. With hope incarnate in the body, everything the body does will be most favorable for it for an extended period of time. Some of you know that expression. Sarvata kalyanam mangala bhavantu. Everything will be favorable for the most extended period of time. That's what the body does. Focus on Rasavada, transmutation aspect. Believe in the body's knowledge of itself. Rasavada. The philosophical contemplation becomes meditation. Rasavada. Rasavada. Some of you can feel the transmutation happen, like a fire inside. It's your blood and your chi. The physical sensation is just blood flowing more efficiently. Gives you the feeling of heat. And on the vital plane, your chi convecting during the process. It also affects mass with actual transmutation. Rasavada. Make a choice. The ability of your body to make the best out of the resources he has. To take it one moment at a time and always do its best with the current state of things. And from there, get better. with whatever situation. It's a decision in your mind. It is a feeling of hope, determination, and it's a choice you can share with your body. And you contemplate Rasavada, Transmutation. And for those of you who have the favorable training, you know that hope is Sarvata Kalyanam Mangalabhavantu, the Sanskrit expression. You live it in the body. We will finish this contemplation with gratitude. Thank you, my body, for doing your best. I am sorry for ignoring you, that's if you have the actual guilt. And I am happy now to consider you. As I incarnate the body, I'm grateful for the body doing its best. And a deep breath. Thank you for your time.